So it feels so good to have a raft of students back in this building, I can't tell you. People often come up to me and they say, wow, college president, I bet you get the summer, you can kind of kick back and relax. But summer as a College of the Atlantic president is absolutely bonkers crazy. It's about raising money and raising awareness and developing friends. And Lynn and I, it is absolutely nonstop, and I absolutely love it. And many people find that surprising, but I love doing it because of this, because of Emily, because of this animation, because of everything that's going on here today. This is the ends. The fundraising is a means to this ends, and it feels absolutely great. And so I see my purpose at this event is to really build inspiration and build on feeling and take this inspiration and move it out into the world and move it out into this academic year. Over the past few days, I found a lot of inspiration like Emily did in this word love. I would bet the entire crowd has at least heard once the talks that Dave Feldman and Karen Waldron do on human ecology and the introductions, right? It was this past Monday. It's the second time I've heard them. I read them over and over again. They are absolutely excellent. They're excellent. It was this line in Dave's essay that really stood out. Now, I know you can read it, but I'm going to read it myself. It's hard to find precise words for the value-driven component of human ecology. At its essence, it is a deep caring and a profound sense of responsibility for humans and the environment. What is this thing that drives so much of what we do? I've thought a lot about it, and perhaps the best word for it is love. Dave then drew from Crime Think, which is an anarchist collective that produces the zine Rolling Thunder, among a bunch of other things. And this one really jumped out to me because I like the idea of love as a revolutionary force. I see a lot of parallel between love and revolution and the College of the Atlantic as a revolution in higher education. And then after, Karen stepped up. And with Karen, it was more of a call to action, right? A call to love. And it was this line that got me thinking. You may fall in love maybe more than once, but fall in love with ideas, places, possibilities, works of art, media, question, as well as people. And it got me thinking, what do I really love? And how can I take that love and bring it to all of you and to this institution? Now, some love is deeply rooted, and sociobiologists might proclaim that it is genetic, right? But whatever the explanation, I know that I love my girls. You're supposed to say, oh, that's so cute, right? And here's Maggie at 2 in a beach near Valparaiso, Chile. And then there's, of course, my little daughter, Molly. And I have this picture on my desk, and every time I look at it for the past 8 years, I laugh. I just absolutely love it. She knows that I'm using it, and now at 10, I don't think she's entirely impressed with it, but I really like it. I also share love and genetic information with this guy. This is my dad, and I love him dearly. He died. He's not even around anymore, but he's only memory, and I love that memory. And then I love my wife, Karen, and the double rainbow. We met when I was 25 and got married at 28, and I just realized that this year becomes the year where I've known Karen longer than anyone else on the planet and spent more time with her than anyone. I also love non-human but living things like my dog. I love things that give me nourishment and pleasure like peanut butter. And I also love things that have never lived, like my truck. I love her so much that I call her and that I named her Scarlet. And I do talk to her on long road trips. I also love crazy, less tangible things like football, and you're allowed to make fun of me for that. I love that kind of thing. I love the undulating pressure changes in the air that our ears and our minds read as music. More than anything, John Coltrane and the John Coltrane Quartet. And I most definitely love what is really a complete abstraction, an institution, which is a collection of people and ideas and places that has a history and a mission. I love this place, and I want to use the rest of this time to reify and to re-inspire and to reignite love. To ask you, like Karen Waldron did, not to just fall in love with people, places, and ideas, but also to fall in love with the College of the Atlantic. It's an institution that, unlike any other college, any other institution, actually requires that we love it for it to go on. Now, lucky for all of us, I've designed a very logical 3-step program for inspiring this kind of love. It involves a very cutesy piece of alliteration, falling in love with place, with pedagogy, and with people. And that's how we're going to do this. So I would hope that the place component makes obvious sense to you right off the bat. I would hope that some or many of you may have actually chose to come here because of geography, because of where we're situated. Now, many of you will be plunging into this body of water within a few hours, and you're really going to come to know place when you're in that water. I know is Heath Cabot here? Okay, well, she is going to call me a geographic determinist, but I feel strongly that we are who we are as an institution partially because of where we are. And that where is here on the shores of Frenchman Bay, on Mount Desert Island, and I ask you to become absolutely infatuated with the local, with what is local. It starts here on this campus. And so what I'd ask you to do is find a place on campus that you absolutely love. And for me, it was the porch out on the library. It overlooks the red bricks. You can see turrets and the ocean. And this summer, when turrets was a complete nightmare of dust and noise and everything, I would squirrel away up there on this balcony, and it became home for me. Our campus, our reach, our possibilities also extend out into the Gulf of Maine. Here's Alex. They extend southward out into Great Duck Island, which is part of our campus. They also extend further south out onto an 1.5 acres of rock that's about 20 miles off the coast that Toby tells me rises about 30 feet above sea level, but I think it's more like 20. This is our island. This is Mount Desert Rock. These places all around us make the College of the Atlantic special. And so my task for you is, no matter what your interests are, find love in our college by clamoring and clawing to make your way to these places. Also, visit our more metaphorical islands, which are our farms. Right here is Tess at Beach Hill and the carrot crop. And then just down the road at Peggy Rockefeller Farms and our sheep. These are extraordinary parts of campus that I want you to come to know and love. But you will find love beyond just what we own as an institution. We're blessed to be on the Gulf of Maine. We're in our front yard and have Acadia National Park in our backyard. These places are beautiful, and we can enjoy them by visiting them, but they're also perfect laboratories for practicing human ecology. And I know some might say I'm biased, but I feel very, very strongly that being outside in these places is an absolutely crucial part to being part of the COA experience. So it's this place, these classrooms, these labs, this library, the GIS lab, the farms, this very auditorium, the art studios and the gallery, the islands, Acadia, the water you're about to jump in. All of these are like a petri dish for the radical transformation in your lives that we're hoping for. Love this college by loving these places. Now, pedagogy. It's a word that refers to the science and art of education, and I hope you can fall in love with this place by loving that as well. In so doing, you are coming to love none other than human ecology. As Karen points out, human ecology is what we study, it's how we study, and it's why we study. We study the complexities that bind humanity together with the environment. We study by doing, by building, by making, with an approach that balances a hands-on approach to learning to a minds-on approach to learning. And we study because we want to play an active role in somehow making the future better than the past. In terms of this complete three-part pedagogy, I think the words of Todd, Little Siebel, also capture the idea perfectly. I ran into Todd the other morning out by the beech tree there, and he said this to me, and I will always lean on this. College of the Atlantic and our pedagogy is like a workshop. And this year, and in all the years in front of you, I want you to find love by building something at this college, whether that's something as a boat, a piece of animation, an orchard, a poem, a community, a piece of art, an idea. I want you to build it. That's important. Now, finally, and perhaps most obviously, there are the people. And I think for me, more than the place, more than the pedagogy, it is everybody in this room that is the special sauce of the College of the Atlantic. And our founding, this has done this twice to me now, a founding president, here seated at the right, said it most eloquently. Let's try it again.
It's amazing what you can do if you, first of all, pick the right people. You gotta get the right people. Once you get the right people, trust them. And then for me, get out of their way.
And then for Ed, get out of the way. It is all about the people. And Ed has said that time and time and time and time again. It is about the people. And it is about, no doubt, the faculty, staff that are here and make this place great. But it is also about these different classes. You again, are the ends to our means. And that makes it so exciting to be here. Now, before we leave, and before I finish up, I'm going to suggest that if we really want to love this place, and if we really want to learn through place, through pedagogy and people, we need to make a commitment as a community. Okay, this is serious. I've been kind of lighthearted. This is serious. I want this to be a September New Year's resolution for us. I'm going to suggest that before we can really love this place the way it needs to be loved, we need to make a universal commitment to respect and to self-constraint. Now, this is tough. We're in a world that's completely focused on self-expression and the beauty of the individual, but to make this place work, we have got to find respect. Take coffee mugs for an example. These coffee mugs, they go missing from Tab, right? We do not have dish monitors at Take a Break because we are a community that's based on trust. But dishes, and most especially these mugs, they wind up in offices and classrooms and dorms and bathrooms downtown. And you might say, well, what's the big deal, right? Well, the big deal is that it becomes an incredible burden on our kitchen staff. Now, I talked to Gina about this, and she was excited to do this, so don't think that I just snapped this. But they've got better things to do than wander around campus looking for our mugs, right? They become frustrated, and they take out their frustration. It bleeds into society at large. And then you don't drink coffee, and people get all kinds of frustrated. Building and ground staff, they find coffee with the little mold that starts to grow around the bottom. It's just disgusting. The mug itself is an important thing, but it's obviously a window to much larger things. The mug is that broken window in a declining neighborhood, right? The first deterioration of a faltering situation. The first painful signs of disrespect that emanates with a, hey, no one cares vibe. The way what I want to say, and this is the bottom line here, the way we treat things on campus, the mugs, the dorms, the boats, the books, our grounds, is a direct reflection on how we treat people. It's direct. Now, the same can be said for the less tangible things like time. The whole, hey, we're on COA time here phenomenon, right? The idea that we don't need to pay attention to deadlines or when things start. Hey, who cares when it starts? We're 5 minutes late. This is the metaphysical equivalent to stealing mugs. It's not being anal retentive to be respectful of people's time. It's being compassionate and loving for this institution. And this goes not just for students, this goes for me, faculty, staff, trustees, everybody. And lastly, I'd ask for new dedication toward respect in the way we communicate to one another. In writing, in speaking, we cannot exist as a successful community without the commitment of restraint and respect. Sean Murphy said it to me really well this morning. Respect is a non-negotiable value. It is at the core of who we are for ourselves and for each other. Accountability and respect are essential to our collective success. Now listen, I don't want to seem like a holier-than-thou uncle up here. And if you looked carefully, you will notice that that mug is actually in my own office. I wanted to start and end by saying we've got so much going for us, right? We're starting from a place where there is so much love for place, for pedagogy, for people. The omens for this college are not just good, they're excellent. But let's build on that love with this commitment, this new commitment to community and to respect. I know it's not enough for me to just get up here and say we've got to live it. So as goals for this community, as we start the year, and as we approach the plunge of the Bar Island Swim, or if we're just going to go and watch, which is completely okay, let's focus on loving place, loving pedagogy, and loving and most definitely respecting the people around us. It is going to be a great year, and with that, I officially open up the 2013-2014 academic year. Thank you.